4A state championship. It's a clear, crisp day here in Carroll County, a beautiful day for football. Hello, everyone. This is Tom Davis, welcoming you once again here on Home Team Sports to another coverage of high school football, together with the athletic director for the Montgomery County, Ed Massoud. It's kind of an interesting game because both clubs are undefeated, 12-0.
It's the first time, Tom, that we've seen this in a number of years since Home Team Sports has been covering the championships.
What about Randallstown now? Who are they led by?
Well, they're led by number 33 all-franchise Larry Washington, senior running back, who has accomplished over 2,000 yards a season in a 10-game season. But in the last two Maryland State playoffs, in the quarter and semifinals, he's had over 500 yards rushing and 7 touchdowns. Coach John Buckheister, who's no stranger to this event because he won the title in '87 with Milford Mill, brings Randallstown in here with a record of 108 wins and 32 losses.
Thomas Wootton, an excellent team at 12-0, yet they have scored some victories by defense.
That's absolutely correct. They've allowed only 70 points in their 12 games and averaged 5.8 points on defense. The amazing thing about this team is that in 4 of their wins this year, the offense has not scored a point yet. Here they are undefeated. The greatest thing Bob Hampton would love to do is come to the 500 level. He's 40-41 as a head coach, and what a way to take home the state title and break 500.
Now, what can we look for offensively from both teams?
I think from Randallstown, you're going to see give the ball to Washington on a quick sweep left and a quick pitch left and traps to the left side. Wootton, on the other hand, is going to try to get the ball in the hands of Marlon Evans, number 12, who averages 19.7 yards every time he touches the ball, and probably some passing from quarterback Mike Mioch. The running back for Wootton to look for is Sean Thomas, and they come in with a variety of multiple offensive sets. They favor the wing tee, but they'll show you an I set. They show the counter tray from the Redskins, and last week against Springbrook, they even showed the run and shoot.
As for the offensive game plan for both teams, let's go to the coaches, John Buckheister and Bob Hampton.
Well, the philosophy of our team so far this year has been very consistent. We're going to try not to make offensive mistakes. We're going to try to take away the offense's best plays. Whether we're successful or not will remain to be seen. However, this year we have been successful in doing that in the majority of the time. We're not always looking for a big play defensively, but we're always looking to capitalize on another team's mistakes. And there is our whole game plan throughout the whole season.
We can't do anything other than what we've already done. I mean, we can't run another offense. We can't put in all kind of trick plays. We just run what's good for us, and if they stop it, they stop it. We won't do anything different than we haven't done all year. I'm sure they've seen us a couple times on tape and so forth. So, you know, we're just going to play our game. We're not going to deviate from that.
And we're just about ready for football here at Westminster High School in beautiful Carroll County, Maryland. Tom Davis together with Ed Massoud, and Wootton will take the opening kickoff. Randallstown has deferred to the second half and getting ready to put toe into the football there. The Randallstown, of course, wearing the dark shirts today with the gray pants is number 10, Mitchell Clay, who is their place kicker. And the deep setbacks for Thomas Wootton, who will be bringing the ball back today for Thomas Wootton, include number 30, I believe, is 21 is Sean Thomas, and number 30, Daryl McGraw.
Tom, I think McGraw usually has been a returner, but today they're putting back Marlon Evans, split end number 12, who had an opening touchdown run last week in the opening play of the game against Springbrook, 99 yards to put Wootton up 7-0.
All right, Ed, both of these clubs are 12-0, perfect seasons on the line for both, and that's got to say something about the football programs at Thomas Wootton and also Randallstown.
And I think that this is one of the few times now, I think I mentioned this earlier, in the last 5 years we've had the state championship game has come from 2 teams in the same county. It's good to see that different team, Wootton and Randallstown, who last appeared in the state championship game and won it in 1984 over Annapolis, are back. I think they'll put a little new life and spirit into the 4A football program in the state.
All right, so 12, Marlon Evans, and 21, Sean Thomas, awaiting the opening kickoff. The fans are rising from their seats, and Randallstown with toe into the football, and we're underway. The Class 4A championship game And the ball was taken by the upback, number 12, Marlon Thomas, and he runs the ball all the way out to the 40-yard line where Thomas Wootton will put it in play, first down at the 40-yard line.
That was a good center return by Marlon Evans that time. He had a little bit of a hole and just popped it right up the center.
Here's a look at the offensive line for Wootton. 25-yard kick return by Marlon Evans. The quarterback, Mike Miak, hands off to 21, and that's Sean Thomas, who runs to the right and gains about 3 yards before he is brought down by Gregory Hines. So it'll be a pickup of 3 on the play, second down and 7 for Thomas Wootton. We continue to look at the Wootton offense here, the split end and the tight end, Ed Riley and Marlon Evans. The halfback, Sean Thomas and Hal Marion. And Kyle Horlocker, the fullback. Just looking at these clubs before the game started, it appeared that Randallstown had a decisive advantage size-wise. Straight ahead, Kyle Horlocker running to the right sideline, crosses the 40, gets the first down, 35, and out of bounds near the 30-yard line. He's shoved out by Gregory Hines. So Wootton moving the ball on 2 successive running plays, gaining a first down inside the Randallstown Ram territory.
They had good blocks that time by Sugar and Molovinsky.
Marking the ball at the 36.
Horlocker just broke it to the outside. Nice gain.
Miak with a handoff to Horlocker. Horlocker gained about 2 with straight ahead running down to the 35-yard line. Larry Sidnor made the tackle. As we're taking a look more at the Wootton offense, that's Mike Miak, the quarterback. Ball spotted at the 35. It'll be second down and 9. And again, Horlocker with the head down, trying to pick up some tough yardage on the inside, gained about 4 there. And Chris Frazier from Randallstown was able to make the hit to bring him down. 4-yard pickup. It'll be third down and 5.
Tom, one of the keys with the Randallstown defense this year has been with Jensen on the nose guard and Frazier and Baker anchoring the line at tackle. And it looks as though Wootton right now is just taking it right at them.
Ball spotted at the 31-yard line. Third and 5. Wootton taking the opening kickoff, running it out to the 40. And on the handoff to 21, Sean Thomas. He crosses the 30 and gets close to the 25. It's going to be very close to first down yardage. We'll have to wait until they untangle. It is a first down. First down for Thomas Wootton. They continue to stay on the ground.
And on this series, they haven't shown too much. They're coming from a pro set with a flanker and a split end, 2 running backs, and they're running power football right up the middle against a power football team.
From the Randallstown 25-yard line, first and 10, Thomas Wootton. And again, Horlocker puts the head down, gains another quick 5, running the ball right down the chute. And Brad Topchick made the hit after a gain of 5 yards, maybe 6 on the play.
And Brad Topchick...
What's that? You guys want the game? Yeah, 5?
Brad Topchick really played it tough on that play after being driven out. Here's the offensive line play. They drove at him, and Horlocker cut back to the inside. Topchick fought off the block and came back to the right to make the tackle.
Second and 4 for Thomas Wootton at the 19-yard line of Randallstown. No gain on that play. Wallace Baker, the big defensive lineman there, making the hit. And I want to tell you something, he's the biggest guy on the football field, no doubt about it.
Well, Tom, I'll tell you, you're no little guy, and you had to look up to him as we walked out there earlier today.
The guy must go 6'8" at least.
And he's about an 1100 SAT. He's, I think he was runner-up in their scholar athlete. He can play.
Randallstown does have some impressive academic credentials. Third down, 4. Randallstown stopping with Brad Topchick there making the hit on the running back. You could see 21, Sean Thomas, getting off the bottom of the pile now, but Topchick made a very impressive hit. It's going to be a 4th down. They need about maybe 2 yards for the first. 4th and 2.
I think here's the defense on that play with Topchick just fighting off and making the tackle. One of the things that I'd look for here at this point with Wootton of a 4th and about 2 from the 17. They do have a kicker, Jeff Pierce, number 85, who has kicked 10 field goals this year, but they're coming back out in their wing set.
4th and 2 from the 17-yard line. 7:50 to go, first quarter. Penalty markers go down. This is a scoreless game with penalty markers down. Somebody jumped a little too quickly.
Looked like it was on the defensive side of the line, and if that's true, it's going to give Wootton a first down, and it'll put him inside the 15-yard line. You can see
Offsides
there,
against the defense, automatic first down.
That's all you have to do. There's no contact made. It's encroachment.
So a 5-yard pickup on the penalty being marked off all the way down to the 12. It'll be first down there.
It looks like we have a timeout, Randallstown.
So your early impressions, Ed Massoud, of what you've seen from Thomas Wootton. Obviously, Randallstown has not had the football so far offensively.
The thing that really surprises me is the conservatism shown by Bob Hampton in his game plan to come out with only 2 sets, his pro set and his wing set, and running the ball consistently between the tackles and making good yardage off straight dive power football. We did see the one play that Horlocker ran for about 15, 18 yards, but that play again began up the middle and then he bounced it to the outside. That's not like Wootton. Usually they'll come at you with multiple sets. They'll come at you with the I formation. There's a lot of misdirection in their earlier 12 games this year. We just haven't seen it yet.
So far this drive, 48 yards, 43 have come on the ground, the other 5 on the penalty. This will be the 9th play of the drive. Randallstown dressed in the black shirts, yellow helmets, and it appears that they are gray pants. And Wootton from the Rockville area of Montgomery County in the white uniforms, white helmets. 7:41 to go, first quarter. Randallstown and Thomas Wootton for the Division 4A championship, scoreless from Westminster High in Carroll County. To the right, 21, Sean Thomas gets inside the 10, inside the 5, and he gets shoved out of bounds around the 4-yard line. Larry Washington came up to make the hit.
And Tom, that's the misdirection I was talking about. The original flow started into the left side, and then they countered back to the right side with a nice gain on that play. Washington did make a great tackle. Here we have it again. Sean Thomas turning the corner, picking up about 8 on the play.
Wootton can still get a first down inside the 5-yard line. Mike Eoch has him lined up, and he puts his head down, tries to run straight ahead. Does not get much yardage. In fact, maybe gained a yard at best as the interior defensive line closed that play off rather quickly as 72 Wallace Baker from Randallstown was able to make the hit.
We have this on the defensive play coming up. Topchick stuffs straight ahead, and Baker pinches to the inside to the right to make the tackle on Eoch. Third and 2.
The pitch goes to Thomas, bats the ball up in the air. Randallstown running for coverage and comes up with the ball, number 82. Rodney Smith covers the football. So Thomas Wootton getting inside the 5-yard line of Randallstown, unable to score. The fumble was caused by L.D. Shepard, tipped it up into the air, and then it was recovered by number 82, Rodney Smith of Randallstown.
The pitch was just a little bit behind Thomas, and he bobbled it up once, twice, and then it was tipped again by Randallstown Shepard, as you said, and then recovered by number 82. Randallstown ball.
Randallstown with Sean Polton, the quarterback. Has him down and set on a first down. Bolt with a handoff to Larry Washington, running right, and crosses the 15-yard line and gets close to the 20. He's out near the 18-yard line.
We have Randallstown offensive line. Eric Gertner center. The offensive guards are Topchick and Grodnitsky. And the tackles Fraser and Baker. They run with a 2 tight end split, and we'll pick that up in a minute.
Second down 6 from the 18 of Randallstown. Scoreless game, 6:10 to go, first quarter. Randallstown and Thomas Wootton for the Division 4A championship. And Hines running straight ahead, tackled by Masay Hallamarian.
The tight ends, Tyrone Wells and Marlo Rogers. And the wingback, Greg Hines, who also will be an upback when they go to the wishbone formation. And halfbacks number 33, Larry Washington and Dan Dorsey. Quarterback is Sean Polton, and he is their scholar athlete with over 1,200 SATs.
Yeah, they're measuring to see if there's a first down here on that run. It's very close.
About an inch.
You can see the difference there. Absolutely about as tight as it could be. So it's going to be third down and an inch from the 25. Randallstown with the football. Game scoreless. 5:58 to go in the first quarter. We're in Westminster, Maryland. Lovely Carroll County on a beautiful Saturday afternoon for football for the Division 4A state championship here in Maryland. Bolton, the quarterback, hands off to Larry Washington. Gets out to the 30-yard line. Pick up a 5 on the play and a first down for the Randallstown Rams. Of course, Washington, the back that has gained over 2,500 yards this season. This is a pretty cut and dry team. You know Washington's going to get the ball probably, I guess, what, 90% of the time?
Well, if he was my back, he would. There's no question about that. He's a franchise, as I mentioned earlier.
So on a first down and 10 from the 30-yard line, Randallstown. Bolton pitches to Washington, running left. 35-40, penalty marker down midfield. Washington to the 40 and then rubbed out of bounds around the 35-yard line. But there's a penalty marker back at the 35-yard line of Randallstown. And John Buckheister on the field, quite upset. Holding penalty against Randallstown, and he is just as hot as can be, is John Buckheister, the coach at Randallstown. That gain went from the 30, which was 20 yards to midfield, down to the other 30, so another 20 yards. It was a 40-yard gain wiped out, and then you add the penalty. Oh, and that's about a 55-yard play, right?
And one of the things we want to remind the viewers is that in high school football, the penalty is assessed from the spot of the foul, not from a line of scrimmage.
Holding.
So the ball is marked now at the 25-yard line, not the 26. First down and 15. Washington takes the handoff, running right, back to the 30 and then maybe to the 32-yard line. Looks like it's a gain of 7 on the play. Jeff Pierce, who doubles as a place kicker, made the hit there for Thomas Wootton.
And that particular play, they ran from their wishbone formation, which is the second time they've shown it. And they did fake to the upback, Hines, and then give to Washington.
From the 31, Randallstown with a second down and 9. Bolton pitches to Washington. And Washington is taken down shy of the line of scrimmage by 55. That's Chris Decina from Thomas Wootton. A good open field hit.
Yeah, here's the play. We've been looking for these quick pitches and sweeps, but Decina shoots the gap and makes it just a great shoestring tackle on Washington. That's something you don't usually see. They usually need 3 or 4 guys to bring him down. Of course, Jeff Pierce did a good job holding the corner that time, so the block wasn't able to kick him in.
They're going to call it a gain of a yard on the play. Third down and 8 for Randallstown from their own 32. 3:55 left to play first quarter. Randallstown and Thomas Wootton scoreless from Westminster High School in Carroll County. Washington on a sweep to the right, blocking, breaks down. Washington did not get to the 35-yard line. He picked up 2 on the play. John Bernstein with the tackle for Thomas Wootton.
And also helping out on that play was Bill Flint, number 65.
Fourth down and 6 for Randallstown from their 34-yard line. It's going to bring up a punting situation where Polton, the quarterback, will be on field to punt the football, and he's going to back up near the 20-yard line.
Marlon Evans is back deep to receive in safety.
Marlon Evans, number 12, the return man for Thomas Wootton. An end-over-end kick. Looks like it's going to be a little bit shy. Fumbled by Thomas Wootton and recovered by Randallstown at about the 47-yard line. And up back, tried to bring the football down, was unable to do so for Thomas Wootton. It turned out to be Todd DeHart. He fumbled the football, actually muffed it, and then Randallstown quickly covered.
And here again we have DeHart making the attempt at the fair catch and muffs the ball.
And 27, Marlo Rogers was able to cover it for Randallstown. So Randallstown with the football still from the 47-yard line, first down. This is the number 12. Evans on a sweep to the near side, right inside the 45-yard line, just crossed the 40 for a pickup there of about 7 yards in the play. Ball spotted at the 41-yard line. Second down and 4 for Randallstown. And 41 is of Thomas Wootton. 2:14 to go in the first quarter. Ball crosses the 40-yard line, gets down close to the 35, very close to a first down. In fact, Darryl McGraw made the hit. And number 12 there for Randallstown, we do not have listed, is Dan Dorsey. Dan Dorsey, number 12. Dorsey gets the first down for Randallstown.
There's the defensive coordinator, Jim Tessier from Wootton. A little discouraged.
Less than 2 minutes to go in the first period. This is Dorsey again, crossing the 35 down to the 33-yard line, where John Bernstein, 51 for Thomas Wootton, was able to bring down Dan Dorsey. Somewhat surprised that Washington has not carried the ball as frequently as I thought he would here in the early going.
Well, I agree with you, but one of the keys is the fact that they're evidently keying on him with doubles, and he's not been able to break the big play except the one that was called back by the holding penalty. I'll come back to that point after this play.
Second down and 6 for Randallstown. The ball spotted at the 33-yard line. Long count. Polton hands off to Washington. Runs straight ahead to the 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, and knocked out of bounds at about the 2-yard line. Larry Washington by Todd DeHart. A gain from the 31 down to the 2, a 29-yard pickup and a first and goal for Randallstown. As they're as close now as Thomas Wootton was about the 5 minutes ago.
And here we come with a counter play back with a trap on the left side. Washington, there's a nice hole, good drive block by Topchick. He breaks it to the outside, and the sideline ends up making the tackle along with several Wootton players. It was just a great kick-out block, but good counter action by Polton that time.
First and goal for Randallstown. 54 seconds left to play in the first quarter. The fans are rising. Polton turns, hands it off. It appeared that Dorsey got the handoff, and he was knocked down right at the line of scrimmage by Jeff Pierce, 85. Pierce is the Patriots' leading tackler.
And he played a tremendous game last week in the semifinal game against Springbrook with 4 individual sacks and 2 field goals as the place kicker as well. He's one of their captains and is a team leader.
30 seconds of the clock moving here at the end of the first period. Randallstown close to pay dirt. Washington, 5 stretches out. Did he get in? We do not see the officials put their hands up yet. It's about as close as you can be without going into the end zone. Final 5 seconds of the quarter. John Ridgway made the tackle of Larry Washington.
It's good block on the backside that time by Baker. Once Washington got through the hole, he stretched it out. And I think that's the end of the quarter, Tom.
Yeah, they didn't allow the stretch as far as Washington tried to take it. So that's the end of the first period here for the Maryland State 4A Championship. Randallstown and Thomas Wootton scoreless after 1. back to Westminster High School, Carroll County, Maryland. The Maryland State 4A High School Football Championship at stake. We're finished one quarter. Tom Davis together with Ed Massoud, and Randallstown knocking at the door for a touchdown right now. They have a third down and goal from the 1-yard line. Washington in for the touchdown. Larry Washington, who had that 29-yard run down to about the 1-yard line, gets the football to take it in and gives Randallstown a 6-0 lead. First play of the second quarter. Mitchell Clay will attempt the point after for Randallstown. The holder will be the quarterback, Sean Polton. It's good. And Randallstown has taken a 7-0 lead here in the early going of the second quarter. And we're going to take a look here at the touchdown run by Washington.
Just a straight handoff. The original step takes it off tackle to the right side, but let me tell you, there was just great blocking. That line of scrimmage was moved into the end zone.
Watch 21 Hines make a nice open block there.
Good block.
Very good for Gregory Hines, number 21. In the first quarter, time of possession, the Rams had it for 6:51. Wootton had it for 5:09. 77 yards for the Rams, and Wootton had it for 39 yards. Kind of interesting, not one pass thrown in the entire first quarter.
If we keep this up, we'll be out of here in probably an hour and 2 minutes. Could be the fastest 4A championship game in the history of this event.
In case you just tuned in, Randallstown leading Thomas Wootton 7-0. Randallstown with the black jerseys, and Thomas Wootton dressed in all white. Tom Davis together with Ed Massoud. This has become an annual event, Ed.
I love it.
Having a good time.
I look forward to it.
Used to do the game at College Park on a regular basis, but the reason why it's not at College Park this year, they're tearing the place up to put in a new press box, and also it's going to take a while for them to get the field ready for next year. Here's the return by 44, Jared Pratt. Pratt's finding enough running room to take the ball out to near the 40-yard line for Thomas Wootton.
One of the things that we were commenting on earlier, Tom, with we were both surprised Washington wasn't running the ball quite as much, as we show the defense for Randallstown with Mike Jensen, nose guard, and the tackles, Frazier and Baker, and the defensive ends, Shepard and Smith. And that is a solid defensive line.
Larry Washington with a 1-yard TD run for Randallstown. The Rams lead at 7-0, 11.5 to go in the first half. Thomas Wootton on the attack with Horlocker, the fullback, putting his head down and crossing the 40-yard line out to about the 43. It's a gain of 4 on the play, bringing up 2nd down and 6 for Thomas Wootton. The tackle by Brad Topchick of Randallstown.
And the Randallstown cornerbacks, we have Marlo Rogers and Dan Dorsey. And the safeties, Larry Washington and Greg Hines. When you have horses, you put them on the track.
Evans split wide to the right for Wootton. This is 21, Sean Thomas, across the 45, out to about the 48-yard line. That's a gain of 5 more. It'll bring up 3rd down and 1 as Michael Jensen of Randallstown was able to make the stop.
Jensen is quick for a nose guard. Matter of fact, people in the Baltimore County area probably know him as the county wrestling champion last year. And here we have rushing yards with the Patriots 78 and the Rams with 48 in that first quarter.
3rd and 1 for Thomas Wootton. They're trailing by a touchdown, 7-0 Randallstown. And putting his head down again, Kyle Horlocker straight ahead running to midfield. It's good enough for the first down. So Thomas Wootton has been able to move the ball, with the exception of that fumble there on their first drive. It was very costly. They looked like they were going in for the first score of the game.
And, of course, Coach Hampton has come right back to that same play series. He has not called anything different than he called in his first series when they moved the ball right down the field inside the 10.
Mike Neock, the quarterback for Thomas Wootton, looks over the defense for Randallstown. The handoff goes to 21. Sean Thomas runs right. It's tackled basically at the line of scrimmage. Little or no gain on the play. Call it 2nd down and 10 for Thomas Wootton. Tackle for Randallstown made by 21, Gregory Hines. 9:50 to go first half. Ed, would you call this basically basic football for both teams, the way they run the ball?
Yes, no question about it. And both teams are sticking with their game plan.
There's 21, Sean Thomas to the 40-yard line, very close to a first down. Inside the 40 to the 39 of Randallstown. Sean Thomas running the ball for Thomas Wootton.
And here's the replay. It's nothing but an old belly scissors. Counterplay, fake to the dive man, up on the left guard, and then give to the second back off right tackle.
Nice block thrown by number 12, Marlon Evans there for Thomas Wootton to sort of help the play.
Well, that's a key block. If he doesn't get it, that play doesn't work.
Ball at the 39-yard line, first and 10. And again, Sean Thomas running left guard, tackled by Michael Jensen by Randallstown.
Let me get back my comment earlier on Mike Jensen I was making, is that he was a Baltimore County wrestling champion high school. He was a district place winner and third in the state, and he's only a junior. We got to look at him. You imagine a kid third in the state as a wrestler, as a sophomore, and back here on this 12-0 team.
Brandon Fogel wide to the right side for Thomas Wootton. Wide to the left is Marlon Evans. And the gain goes all the way down to the 30-yard line. Good running room there once again for Thomas Wootton. Gregory Hines was able to make the tackle.
Here's the replay. It's just a dive play on a pop. Just straight old seal blocking. Little crack is all that the back needed to get through it. He's down about one yard short of the first down.
Horlocker, the running back, gaining the yards, bringing it up a 3rd down and 1 from the 30-yard line. 30-yard line of Randallstown. 8 minutes, 8 seconds left to play, first half. Randallstown leads Thomas Wootton 7-0. And again, Horlocker, first down yardage and then some. To the 25-yard line, first down.
Tom, you know, one of the keys that I've noticed here, we did know coming in that both teams are basic 5-2 defensive football teams. It's good from a perspective that when they practice their offensive plays, they don't have to change anything. They're practicing against the same thing they're going to see. They don't need a scout team.
Good point. Evans wide to the right, wide to the near side. Fogel. Loose football. Randallstown recovers it at the 35-yard line. Covered by number 30, that's L.D. Shepard.
It looks as though they may have blown it dead. There's the handoff. A good tackle was made. He is, in fact, down. Then the ball comes out.
All right, so it's still Thomas Wootton's football, even though L.D. Shepard was able to cover the football.
That would have been his second recovery today. He had the other one.
On that ball that was tipped up in the air. It killed a Thomas Wootton drive. So it's going to be 2nd down and 12 for the Thomas Wootton Patriots. Sean Thomas to the 25-yard line and ridden out of bounds. That'll make it a 2nd down, make that a 3rd down and 10 from the 25.
He was able to get back to the original line of scrimmage. I'm beginning to wonder if we're going to see a pass today. This wouldn't be a bad time, 3rd and 10.
Well, you know, for the first couple of plays of this series, once it got past midfield, they had at least lined up a receiver split. Up until then, nobody was split beyond the line of scrimmage. Everybody was in tight.
They were running tight with their wing tee.
Evans wide to the near side. Down the middle, complete to number 15, Ed Riley, the tight end, making the catch for the first down inside the 10-yard line. So Thomas Wootton has a 1st and goal just inside the 10-yard line.
Here we have the replay. It's a play action. There's the fake. He comes back 2 steps, sets up and throws, and Riley is absolutely wide open. There's no one within 4 yards of him.
Gain of 16 on the play. First pass and first completion of the game for either club. 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. Whistles blowing, and Horlocker was stood up and driven back by Larry Washington. Horlocker number 2. So they're going to mark that football now, Ed.
Looks like it's about the 6-yard line.
So they're going to call it a gain of 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd and goal. And boy, the defense there, Randallstown, took issue to the gain, didn't he?
Horlocker had 2 steps in the open, and then it closed down very quickly.
Miak brings him up to the line, 2nd and goal. Thomas to the 4 and then stopped. Sean Thomas, the halfback for Thomas Wootton, hit by Larry Sidnor. Less than 6 to go in the first half. Randallstown leading Thomas Wootton 7-0. This is for the Maryland Class 4A High School Championship.
Tom, I'll tell you, it's been nothing but just straight ahead dive football. Couple little misdirection plays, but for the most part, it doesn't get any more basic than this.
Miak makes sure everybody's lined up right offensively. Now looks over that Randallstown defense. Fumble by Horlocker inside the 5-yard line. The fumble could have been possibly caused by Chris Frazier. Did he recover it?
I think the ball was recovered by Wootton. Coming up, last man up, number 65.
65 for Wootton turns out to be Bill Flint, who made the recovery after Chris Frazier caused it. But luckily, Thomas Wootton got the football back. In fact, looks like they came up with a gain.
Up about 2 yards on the fumble. And Flint's the left guard. That's probably his biggest gain of the year.
Good camera work.
We have it. Good shot. Thomas into the line. The ball is stripped out, and Flint is there to recover for a 2-yard pickup.
So a 4th down and goal from the 1. Miak hands off to Thomas, who dives in for the touchdown. Thomas Wootton will have tied this game with a point after Sean Thomas dives from a yard out. 7-6 Randallstown with 4:38 left to play in the first half.
Basic goal line dive offense football against the basic goal line defense. The defensive line submarine down to take the play away, and Shamus takes it right over the top and in for the score. Here we have the point after attempt with Jeff Pierce.
Pierce is the punter and place kicker for Thomas Wootton. Pierce, who misses this one, misses it wide to the left. Wide to the left, so Randallstown maintains the lead at 7-6. With 4:38 left to play in the first half. That's a bad blow.
Well, I'll tell you, it's tough, especially with a guy who has kicked 10 field goals, 6 of them from outside the 30-yard line. And here we have that so-called, gimme extra point. It's missed. He hooked it wide to the left. Certainly had enough distance on it, just pulled it.
So both touchdowns have come on 1-yard runs.
And here's the replay. Miak on the handoff, reverse pivot to Thomas. He just takes it up and over the submarining defensive line, and he gets it in for the touchdown. The missed extra point, you have to have 3 good things work: a good snap, a good set hold, and a good kick. But Pierce you can see him spin there. He just absolutely hooked it and pulled it through and pulled it wide to the left.
Drive took 7 minutes, 19 seconds to complete, 61 yards, 14 plays, 45 of the 61 yards on the ground, and 1 pass complete to the tight end.
Okay, deep is number 33, Washington.
Of course, the tight end was Ed Riley, catching the ball inside the 15-yard line. Big play there. This ball bouncing around for number 12 of Randallstown. That's Dan Dorsey. And Dorsey can't get to the 35-yard line because Todd DeHart was able to make the stop.
Well, that's a little get back even. DeHart is the one that muffed the punt that gave Randallstown the setup, and here he was able to stop the play on Dorsey on the squib kick. So he got a little bit of it back. The Wootton defense, Jared Pratt, nose guard. And the defensive tackles are Ryan Cool and Bill Flint. And the defensive ends, Jeff Pierce and Alan Dinnerman.
Sean Bolton leads them up to the line of scrimmage. Randallstown dressed in the black shirts, moving left to right. And the pitch by Bolton goes to Washington. Plenty of running room. Crosses the midfield marker down the sideline to about the 40-yard line. Inside the 40 to about the 36. Superb game. John Bernstein may have saved a touchdown run there. They're going to mark the ball at the 35. It's a gain of 31 on the play. First down for Randallstown.
And this is just absolutely part of their game plan. Just that quick pitch to the left. They love to pitch left, sweep left, And, of course, if I had a couple people like Top Chick Frazier and Wells blocking, I'd run behind them all day as well.
You know, before the game started, Ed, you said predominantly a running team to the left side, and Washington really has not had that many opportunities to run left until that play there.
That's right. The other big play he had was one called back on the holding penalty.
This is Dorsey for about 2. Ryan Cool made the hit for Thomas Wootton, and we're checking the Wootton defense here.
Chris DeCina and John Bernstein, the linebackers. Todd DeHart and Darryl McGraw are the corners. And the safeties, Massey Halamarian and John Ridgway.
The Randallstown principal, Mort Greenberg, very happy about the graduation rate at Randallstown. The fact that 83% of his students since 1976 have gone on to 2- or 4-year colleges. That's very impressive.
That's fantastic.
Washington stood up, loses maybe a yard after being hit. Chris DeCenda and Jeff Pierce were able to make the stop for Thomas Wootton.
And nose guard Jared Pratt was in to plug the hole to give them the ability to make that tackle.
Less than 3 minutes to go here in the first half already. 7-6 Randallstown. Beautiful Saturday afternoon. Couldn't ask for anything
Tom,
better.
I'll tell you, this is the best weather we've had in 5 years. I love it.
We had some rain down there at College Park in the past.
And we've had some cold.
Dorsey back to the line of scrimmage and maybe a yard. It'll be 4th down and 8.
One of the things we knew coming in here was that Wootton could play defense. We know prior to this year being the Cinderella 12-0 season that they were only usually a 500 ball club. And here's that defense. You'll see the gang tackling. Look at all the white shirts. Dorsey starts to the outside, stops to cut it back, and then it just shut down very, very quickly by the defensive end, the corner, and the linebacker. 4th and 8, Tom.
Randallstown with a lead of 7-6. 1:49 to go, first half, and they're going for the first down. They didn't get it. Thomas Wootton's going to get the football back with plenty of time left here in the first half. Washington taken down there after a gain of maybe 2 on the play by Jared Pratt from Thomas Wootton.
And this will be, I would have to say this is almost average field position for Wootton. They have had good field position starts, and we see that Wootton has called a timeout.
1:40 to go in the first half. Larry Washington with a 1-yard TD run on the very first play of the second quarter to give Randallstown a 7-0 lead. Here in the second quarter, Sean Thomas dove in for a touchdown with 4:38 to play in the first half, but the point after attempt was no good. So Randallstown maintained its lead. They lead Thomas Wootton 7-6. This is for the Maryland State 4A championship of high school football.
And here was the play on 4th and 9 where Dorsey took the ball, tried to make a cut back to the inside against the defensive flow, and was stopped behind the line of scrimmage. And they turn it over, and Wootton's going to start on about their own 33-yard line. Each team has taken 1 timeout so far this half, 2 remaining. And I think we may, you know, with the drives they've had, I think the shortest drive has been 5 minutes. We don't have that much time left on the clock down here. We've got about 1:40, and he's going to have to put it up in the air if they want to get down at least to where they want to give Pierce a chance, a little redemption, and maybe put him in field goal range.
With 1:40 to go in the half, this game in real time is only 40 minutes old. Thomas Wootton moving right to left in the all-white uniforms. Offensively, they have the football. They're trailing by a point. Number 12, Marlon Evans on the reverse, trying to get outside. He keeps losing yardage, and Larry Washington drives him out of bounds at the 25. It's going to be a loss of 8 on the play, bringing up 2nd and 18. Gregory Hines also there to really make the stop.
That is their favorite misdirection play, the split end reverse. Here we have it coming up on the replay. They start the direction one way. Evans takes the handoff on the inside between the quarterback and the offensive line, but the defense left side just shut it down, forced him back for about an 8-yard loss. It may be larger than that.
I think you're right. It's like 2nd down and 19.
He did a good job running out the clock, but I don't think that's what he was trying to do.
Miak to throw, has to bring the football down, and then he goes down. Defensively for Randallstown, the big one, 72. Wallace Baker and Chris Frazier were there to make the hit. 71, Chris Frazier just all over the quarterback, Mia.
Yeah, and really, we have to say that that was probably a coverage sack. The receiver who was sent out, Evans, was doubled up, which gave a lot of time for Frazier and Baker to make the penetration. When Mioch set the throw, he had no choice but to eat the ball. We have a Wootton timeout here.
Let's see, the ball now is going to be marked at about the 15-yard line, so they're going the wrong direction, Thomas Wootton. On their last two plays, they have lost a total of 18 yards.
18 yards, yeah. They started this series on the 33, so we probably have about a 3rd and 28. My math holds up.
You're right. It's a long way to go when you just run the football right down the chute.
And the other thing is that, you know, while Mioch has passed more than Polton has this year, Mioch is only about a 37% average passer. So the passing game from both schools is not a real exciting thing to watch. It's good from a defensive perspective because you only have to defense the running plays.
3rd down, 28 from the Thomas Wootton 15-yard line. 1:21 left to play in the first half. The pass is complete to Sean Thomas. Thomas crossing the field, 25, taken down with a wide-open tackle by 27. That turns out to be Marlo Rogers.
And Rogers was hurt on that play, and I believe that there's an official timeout. Timeout Randallstown, they're indicating now, but Rogers hurt his arm on that tackle. I mean, there was a collision out there. And
his right arm's dangling right now.
Yeah, it was a great little split end or halfback screen to the left side. And then Thomas did a great job cutting back across the grain. And here's the hit. You can just see that Rogers came in, hit from the right side with the elbow. Thomas is actually spun around in the air. He tried to wrap him up, and Rogers was feeling good after the hit, but when he got back to the huddle, the arm was hurting a little bit, and I'll be surprised to see him stay in there. Under Federation rules, he's going to have to come out if he's injured on a play.
He's still in there, though.
Evidently, he's tougher than the official.
Jeff Pierce is going to have to punt the football now for Thomas Wootton on a 4th and 12. Ball spotted at the 33. They still have to get to the 43.
Yeah, I'd say normally we might want to suspect something here.
1:06 to play in the first half. High snap. Pierce with toe into the football. Ball bounces just inside the midfield marker and then returns back to Thomas Wootton territory. Took a hop and maybe a hop the wrong way for about 7 or 8 yards.
About a 15-yard punt.
15-yard punt, and Randallstown will get a shot now with 55 seconds to play in the first half. 7-6 Rams. Their touchdown on a Larry Washington 1-yard run. Sean Thomas scored for Thomas Wootton, but the point after no good.
I'll be surprised if we see Randallstown put the ball up in the air. I think they're going to be happy to give it to Washington and let him try their sweeps and pitches to the left.
Sean Polton has him down and set with motion coming from Hines. Penalty marker down, and the pass goes down the field, and it is off the fingertips of 27 Marlo Rogers. Penalty marker at the line of scrimmage.
And Rogers wanted a little contact call here.
Todd DeHart down there on the coverage.
Rogers had him beat, but we do have a procedure penalty called against the Rams, and that's going to bring it back. People here questioning.
Illegal motion against offense, still first down.
Let me tell you that they are neutral. They are from the Potomac Valley Association in Cumberland, Maryland. If they had their choice, they wouldn't want to drive 2.5 hours to do anything. I don't think they favor one team over the other.
49-yard line's the line of scrimmage. 1st and 15 now. And Randallstown with 29 seconds left to play in the first half and a 7-6 lead. Again, motion from Hines. Penalty marker down. Hines may have taken the turn too soon, huh?
procedure.
Both times, Tom, in both of these plays, the motion man has turned it up just about a half a count too soon.
False start.
Unlike
Get the
college and professional fields that are played on,
false start.
whenever these kids go in motion, they have to direct
20.
their action actually away from the line because they don't have the hash marks to read from.
First down and 20 now from the 44-yard line for Randallstown. Still 29 seconds to go in the first half. 7-6 Rams over Thomas Wootton's Patriots. Washington, he's taken down from behind by 44 Jared Pratt. It's close to a first down, very close in fact. Clock still runs, 15-14 and still ticking.
That was a good, just a little backside out to Washington. He just flared out to the right side and took it down the field.
Incomplete, intended for Marlo Rogers. 1 second left on the clock and a penalty marker goes down.
I think we're going to have unsportsmanlike conduct, a little unnecessary roughness after the play was over and near the boundary line.
Alan Dinnerman may have roughed up Hines.
Foul.
Rogers, excuse me.
It's really unfortunate. That's a tough call to get. You know, kids are up, they're playing hard, and you tell them keep going until the whistle, and here's a delay. It was just he went down to the ground a little bit with a little excessive force. I'm sure that's what they called.
Personal foul against the defense. First down.
Personal foul against Thomas Wootton. That's their first penalty of the game. Randallstown has been penalized 4 times for 25 yards.
That's correct. This has really been a clean game for a game that's spent all the time on the ground.
So this will be the last play of the first half with Randallstown leading 7-6.
Field goal attempt.
Mitchell Clay will attempt a field goal from the 30, so it'll be a 40-yard attempt. Why not? Clay kick is batted at the line of scrimmage. That'll end the first half. Batted down at the line of scrimmage, and that's the end of the first half of the Division 4A Maryland State Championship. And both clubs go to the dressing rooms to ponder the first half as Randallstown leads Thomas Wootton by a score of 7-6. Score of 7-6, and it's been just about an entire running game. Ed Massoud, seems like it very rarely has been there a pass. In fact, I think just one in the entire game.
But Wootton threw one pass complete, and that was on a very critical 4th down play. And then near the end of the first half, as Randallstown was trying to get down within field goal touchdown range, they did throw 3 passes and completed 2.
What are your impressions so far of what you've seen from Randallstown and Thomas Wootton?
It's almost exactly what we thought, and the game plan of the coaches coming into the game. And here we have the scores with the Randallstown touchdown, 1 yard out. Larry Washington, number 33, run behind good blocking on
Gregory Hines.
And then Washington had a beautiful pitch sweep run to the left. This is the play I thought we'd see a lot more of in the first half, but they've been trying to cut Washington back to the inside, and this gained about 35 yards. 87 yards in the first half and all met. And then here's Sean Thomas on the 1 yard plunge over the top for the Wootton touchdown, and the extra point was no good, which brings the 7-6 halftime score. You know, this is last week in our state semifinal games, we had 4 teams, 11-0, and the halftime score at both of those ball games was 7-7. And then we're coming in here today, championship game, 2 teams 12-0, and a halftime score 7-6. So I don't think it gets any better, Tom.
Well, you're exactly right. We're going to take a look now at the halftime stats before we begin the second half. Fairly even game, just as the score indicates there. Basically, 111 yards rushing for Randallstown, 68 for Thomas Wootton. The turnovers have been costly for Thomas Wootton. They were very close to a touchdown there on the first series when they fumbled the ball inside the 5-yard line of Randallstown on the very first series of the game. time of possession fairly even there.
And that really surprises me because I did not expect Wootton to be doing as well as they have been doing.
Now, Randallstown had deferred the kick to the second half.
That's correct. Here we have all the captains back on the field for the decision on who's going to receive, and I imagine that Randallstown will take the ball.
Again, Larry Washington with a 1-yard run on the very first play of the second quarter. And then Sean Thomas with a 1-yard dive with 4:38 to play in the half as Wootton came back, but they missed that point after. That could turn out to be very costly in a game that's this close and also that's so evenly matched between these two teams.
That's right, and it's extremely critical, the point after attempt. Everybody thinks it's a gimme, but it's, you know, it's like that 2-foot putt. It's only a gimme until you have to make it. Here's how we got here. Wootton on the road to the title game defeated Old Mill in the quarterfinals at Glen Burnie. The score is 17-7, and then last week upsetting the perennial and two-time defending state champion Springbrook 20-7. And in that game, their offense only scored 3 points. Randallstown, on the other hand, came in with an outstanding showing. Larry Washington, number 33, leading his team, scoring 33 points, 5 touchdowns, 349 yards. Over Seneca Valley, a former state champion, 33-21, and then last week defeated Oxon Hill, the Clippers, 21-7. And in that game, Washington had 2 touchdowns. In those 2 games, he had 1/4 of his total yardage and 7 touchdowns.
Didn't you mention before the game started that this is the first time in about 4 or 5 years that Montgomery County has not had both teams in this Division IV championship game?
That's correct. Since 1985, it has been either Gaithersburg, Springbrook, Churchill, or Seneca Valley playing each other. And it's just incredible.
We saw Larry Washington on camera there a moment ago, but the kick goes to an up player here for Randallstown. In fact, it's number 82. That turns out to be Rodney Smith, who made the catch of the football on the hop and then took it to the 45-yard line, where he was knocked down by Darren Astron for Thomas Wootton. So it's going to be Randallstown's ball, first down, as we begin the second half from the 45-yard line. And
we begin it just like we ended the first half, with Randallstown on offense and Wootton on defense.
21, Gregory Hines splits wide to the right. Wide to the left, Tyrone Wells. On a first down. Washington gets the call. Midfield, 45. Still on his feet, 35, 30, 25. Larry Washington with a 55-yard touchdown run on the opening play of the second half to give Randallstown a 13-6 advantage over Thomas Wootton.
Incredible running on the part of Larry Washington. He must have broken 5 tackles. It looked as though he was stopped by 2 of the Wootton defensive players, and he kept his feet moving. He kept the high knee action and was able to just penetrate and keep on going down the field. There we have it on the replay, and there he cracks the line of scrimmage, and at this point he looks like he's held up 3 Wootton defensive men, and he just puts on the speed from there.
McGraw was 1, 34 Halamanian was the other. Point after was good. Last week, Washington began the second half with a 60-yard touchdown run on the first play of the second half.
Here you can see it again, just a good trap block on the right side. And this is something that I'm sure Wootton wasn't expecting to see Washington run so well on the right side. He has been running well on the left side, but he's got speed along with size and power. He's a Division I back.
We've got you covered from every angle here on Home Team Sports, watching Larry Washington break 3 tackles and then just coast to the end zone. Evans, number 12, and number 21, Sean Thomas, the return men for Thomas Wootton. Mitchell Clay, number 10, running up on the football. Squib kick. That is covered by 44 for Thomas Wootton. Garrett Platt, and he gets shoved down at about the 35-yard line.
Tom, one interesting note coming into this game, Marlon Evans from Wootton has been averaging 19.7 yards per touch on the football. In this game, he carried the ball one time after the opening kickoff for a total of -9 yards. I'll thank Chris Hall for those stats.
On a first down from the 34-yard line for Thomas Wootton. They're trailing by 8 points. The pitch goes to Sean Thomas, and he's going to lose yardage on that play. Call a loss of 5 as Larry Sidnor for Randallstown was able to come in, shed a block, and make the stop there of Sean Thomas.
I think Coach Buckheister may have had a few words at halftime, because this Randallstown offensive and defensive line this half is a totally different half aggressiveness-wise than they were in the first half.
Second down 14 from the 31-yard line for Thomas Wootton. Inside handoff to Sean Thomas. Larry Sidnor was able to make the stop as Thomas crosses the 30 and gets out to the 34-yard line. So it's a pickup of 3. It'll bring up third down and 11.
And Coach Hampton doesn't seem to have gone astray too far from his original game plan, because he's right back in with his counter action plays.
Marlon Evans wide to the near side. Backs divided behind the quarterback, Mike Neok. Neok pass throwing. It's batted down by 35 of Randallstown. That's Michael Jensen. The pass was intended for Marlon Evans. Neok with a nice in-between cut and then a block.
And on this play, that time, Jensen, who's normally a nose guard on a 5, was dropped back in a 4 coverage. That's one of the few changes we've seen on defense for the Rams.
Washington, the return man now in a punting situation for Thomas Wootton. Jeff Pierce, toe into the football, high hanging spiral. The ball hits at the 30 and then is covered there by Thomas Wootton just inside the 30-yard line. Marlon Evans was the closest to the football for Randallstown. Excuse me, number 12, Daniel Dorsey for Randallstown was the closest to the football when it was covered. Ball spotted at the 29. First and 10. Randallstown with a 14-6 lead as Larry Washington ran for 52 yards and a touchdown on the opening play of the second half. Daniel Dorsey on the run straight ahead, close to the 33-yard line, where Ryan Cool was able to make the stop. Second down and 8. Ball at the 32-yard line. This is Washington. First down and then out of bounds at the 41-yard line. Gain of 8 on the play and a first down by Larry Washington.
Well, so far this game, 13 carries, 148 yards, and 2 touchdowns. It looks like he's on schedule for another 200-yard game and at least 2 to 3 touchdowns a game.
He's already got 2 of them, and he's gotten more than 2,500 yards in this season at Randallstown. A very impressive running back. On a first down, Dorsey off left tackle, close to the 45-yard line, where Ryan Cool was able to make the stop once again for Thomas Wootton.
You know, one of the keys to defense is seeing who's making the tackles on the play. And a lot of these Wootton down linemen are, in fact, making good plays and good tackles. The point is, though, once that Washington or Dorsey cracks the initial line of scrimmage, they can't seem to be brought down by the defensive backfield.
From the 43-yard line for Randallstown, second down and 8. Pitch goes to Washington. 45. Taken down right at the midfield stripe. Jeff Pierce, who is the punter, place kicker, and leading tackler on the team for Thomas Wootton, was able to bring down Larry Washington. They're going to mark the ball at the 49-yard line. Call the gain of 6. It'll bring up third down and 2. 14-6, Randallstown over Thomas Wootton. 7:37 left to play, third period, for the Maryland Class 4A High School Football Championship. We're at Westminster High School in Carroll County, Maryland. Tom Davis and Ed Massoud. Bolton hands off to Washington. Washington breaks 2 tackles, 3, and he's off to the races. Inside the 30, taken out of bounds at the 25-yard line by Darryl McGraw. 25-yard run for Washington.
That time, Tom, the Wootton defense normally was in a 5 with a nose man covering the center. That time lined up almost in a split 6, which left a gap, and the play call was Washington off center. I don't know, somebody knew something. And he's just amazing once he breaks that line of scrimmage.
And is he just difficult to bring down, because it seems like he's busted tackles on 2 successive plays.
Watch the knee action on his legs. His legs never stop.
First down, and Washington taken down off right tackle for a gain of 2.
That time 44 on defense, who made the tackle, did wrap both legs, and then he had help from the corner and the left defensive end.
Jared Pratt is number 44. And you're somewhat insinuating that you need more than one to bring down Larry Washington.
There's no question. Total offense so far, Larry Washington, 182 yards, Patriots 97.
And the round of applause is for Washington coming to the sidelines right now.
I don't think he'll be out long.
From the 24, second down and 9 with motion from Hines. Dorsey, the running back, shoved back after a short gain by Ryan Cool.
You know, when they played up here early in the year against Westminster, we understood that Washington had one of the poorer games, and everybody was keying on him, and Dorsey and Hines went crazy, and it kind of blew Westminster out. So they do have backs other than Larry Washington.
Looks over the defense on 3rd and 7. Hands off to Larry Washington again. And Washington gets inside the 20-yard line. Or excuse me, it's 23, not 33.
Looks like Heron Singleton.
Heron Singleton, number 23.
And after the slight loss on the play, number 33 re-enters the ball game. That was a good defensive surge that time. I think Wootton that time had a slant play on in direction of the motion and was able to hold that gain.
5 minutes left to play, 3rd quarter. Randallstown 14, Thomas Wootton 6. 4th down and 4. The pitch to Washington. Washington will not get the first down. Thomas Wootton will get the ball on downs as Messe Hallamariam came up to stop Larry Washington.
Hallamariam last week recovered an option play fumble from Springbrook and took it in 35 yards untouched. He is a good defensive ball player. Turn it over on downs. The Patriots coming to the line.
From the 20-yard line for Thomas Wootton. They're trailing by 8, 14-6. Kyle Horlock for about 4, where Brad Topchick of Randallstown brought down Kyle Horlock.
Tom, I'll tell you, I'm really impressed with the play of Topchick, Frazier, and Baker. I don't know how many college scouts are here. I saw Joe Krivak last night at one of our other state championship games where Wild Lake defeated Damascus in the 2A title in overtime, 13-7. Krivak said he would be here today. He wanted to see some of these kids.
Looking at Bob Hampton there on the sideline, the coach of Thomas Wootton. At the 35-yard line, he's driven back a couple of yards by 27. Marlo Rogers.
Rogers has played a tremendous game on defense so far.
First down for Thomas Wootton.
Meox ball. Evans is going to go back to the huddle and tell him next time, Mike, just keep it a little bit lower. That was a tough hit by Rogers, but it was a great gain, and it's enough for a first down.
from the 34-yard line. First down, Wootton. Again to 12. Marlon Evans taken out of bounds at the 41-yard line. Gain of 7 on the play, and again, Marlo Rogers was there to take out the receiver, Marlon Evans. Marlo and Marlon.
Now, one of the things that's enabled Mioch to make some of these throws is the fact that he's only taking a two-step drop and then turning and firing on timing routes to the split end. Anytime he's needed more than that, he's not had it because of the pressure from the defense.
Locker. 60, Brad Topchick on the tackle. Penalty marker down.
Penalty flag on the play. Appears to be procedure. Procedure penalty is initial indication against the Patriots.
You're at the same place. Illegal motion. Gets the offense. Still second down.
Second down and 8. Ball at the 36-yard line of Thomas Wootton. 2:38 to go, third period. Randallstown leads Wootton 14-6. Larry Washington with 2 touchdown runs, one of 52 yards, another a short 1-yarder. Mioch the pass. Again, looking right, throwing, completing the pass, and then incomplete. Marlon Evans had it, but then couldn't control it as he went out of bounds and then lost the ball. Again, Marlo Rogers on the coverage for Randallstown. That'll bring up a 4th down.
That was a very catchable ball. Play action, fake into the line. Evans receives the ball, bobbles it, crosses the line, did not have control, and it's waved down as incomplete and brings up a 3rd and 8.
3rd down and 8 for Wootton from their home 36-yard line. Mioch's basic pass pattern has been to this time he flares it out of the backfield to Sean Thomas in the screen. Thomas to the 40, and that's all he's going to get.
You know, that was a well-intended call, and there were good blockers in front, but Thomas wasn't fast enough to close and get in behind his tacklers. And the inside linebacker from Randallstown on the right side was able to flow out and make the play.
Gregory Hines was able to make the stop.
It's really good pass protection in the center, and the flare-out pass. He has 3 men in front of him, but by the time he closes, it's too late.
Hines was able to get in the middle there. This punt,
it's a fine kick,
goes inside the 10-yard line. It'll roll out of bounds at about the 7. Wow, excellent punt by Jeff Pierce.
That's about a 50-yard from the line of scrimmage punt.
A minute 35 to go in the 3rd. Randallstown continues to lead Thomas Wootton by a score of 14-6. 52-yard punt officially.
I was close. I'm glad we have a stat man there.
I'll tell you what, when I saw you count on your fingers, I knew we were maybe a yard or 2 off.
I didn't have enough fingers. This has just been a fine high school championship football game.
Where they got it marked at? 7?
7-yard up there.
Washington gets the call. Running room. Almost a football at the 15-yard line, but may have recovered it himself. Larry Washington, with a loose ball, was able to recover the football at the 15.
Here we have the play. It's just a handoff to Washington off the right side, and he cuts it back across the green in the middle. And the ball is stripped loose as he comes down, but he falls right on top of it. 208 yards per game rushing.
Second down for Randallstown. They have the lead of 14-6. Washington getting the call, running right, has the first down. 20, 25, down the far sideline. Midfield, 40, and out of bounds inside the 40-yard line at about the 39. Less than a minute to go in the 3rd, 14-6. Randallstown over Thomas Wootton, and Larry Washington is just eating up real estate. Massey Hallamarian was able to run him out of bounds.
Again, it's Washington. He bounces to the outside. He has the option to read off the point of attack, and he's taken it to the outside where he can turn on his afterburners. Down the sideline and taken out of bounds by Messe Hallamarian.
45-yard run now. Larry Washington with 19 carries, 235 yards for number 33.
Kid's incredible.
Final minute of play, third period. Randallstown with a 14-6 advantage over Thomas Wootton. 12 is Daniel Dorsey, who gets some playing time when Washington comes to the sideline. He looked like a gain of about 2-3 yards on the play.
Hey, good save call. Just punch him right up the middle. Make him stop you.
Chris DeSena on the tackle. Caught second down and 7.
One of the things we talk about seasoned teams. There are 9 seniors starting for Randallstown.
Second out, 7. Singleton. About a yard or 2 off of the right side of the line.
And in comparison to the 9 seniors and 2 juniors from Randallstown on the field, when Wootton is out on defense, they have 7 seniors, 3 juniors, and a sophomore. So it's, you know, you got to go with experience in games like this. I think that's the end of the third quarter, Tom.
You're exactly right, Ed Massoud. At the end of 3 quarters of play, Randallstown leads Thomas Wootton by a score of 14-6 for the Maryland Class 4A High School Football Championship. Tom Davis and Ed Massoud here at Westminster High School in Carroll County, Maryland. We're ready to start the 4th quarter. Randallstown leading Thomas Wootton 14-6. This is for the the Maryland State 4A Championship. And knocking the ball loose there, but it goes out of bounds.
I can see a little change in the attack style of the defensive Wootton now. They're trying to team up and gang and strip the ball. That's 2 carries. The last 2 times Washington's carried, they are stripping and going after the ball. That was a good hit with the helmet on the ball. Fortunately, the first time Washington recovered his own fumble. This time the ball goes out of bounds and the Rams retain possession. Last week, Wootton got here because they recovered 6 fumbles and 1 double-tip interception last week against Springbrook. They take advantage of the breaks if they can get them.
4th down. And a punting situation. Toe into the football. It's going to land in the end zone, so it'll be a touchback and a first down for Thomas Wootton at their own 20-yard line.
Short punt formation. I haven't seen that since, I don't know when. It's a very, very short punt. He tried to pooch it up and have it land soft inside the 10-yard line, but got a little bit too much of it.
Again, let's review some of the offensive players at the skilled positions for Thomas Wootton. The quarterback is Mike Miyako, has done a very good job today. Marlon Evans caught a few passes at split end. Sean Thomas scored the only touchdown so far as we look at John Buckheister from Randallstown. And this is Sean Thomas with a run to the right side. He's out close to the 27, 28-yard line. Bob Topchick, or Brad Topchick, excuse me, making the tackle for Randallstown.
Yeah, we just saw Coach Buckheister just a little while ago. 108 wins, 32 losses, a state title when he was at Milford Mill High School Class 1A. In his first year at Randallstown, undefeated, 12-0, and leading the state championship game.
Gain of 6 on that play. 2nd down and 4 for Thomas Wootton. Thomas again. First down, 35-40. Midfield and down the sideline. Guess who takes him out? Larry Washington.
Let me tell you, Larry Washington gets all kinds of kudos on the offensive side. But he's had 7 interceptions this year at his safety position. And against Perry Hall, he had 3 touchdowns. 3 interceptions, 2 of them returned for touchdowns. Here's the play again with Sean Thomas on a sweep to the right side, and he got some good blocking on the inside and was able to turn the corner. But we do have a
He was out of bounds on that run. Yeah, he was out of bounds a lot sooner than we thought.
But he did get the first down.
Right. Ball at the 44. First and 10. And again, Thomas running right. Stood up and knocked down. You know, the one thing that you got to be very sightful of here at this game, it's very difficult to tell the sideline markers. It looks like the chalk's been obliterated. We're going to take another look at that long run by Sean Thomas. And look, see, you can't even see the chalk.
Chalk line is only about 2 inches wide, unlike college or pros where they have the 1-foot stride line. And he did step out early. Of course, the official was right there on the spot. The officials from the Potomac Valley Association in Cumberland.
2nd and 4 from the 49-yard line. Thomas Wootton trailing by 8. 10:22 to go in the game. That's number 2, Horlocker. Boy, is he tough to bring down. Horlocker all the way down to the 33-yard line. Dan Dorsey, number 12, was able to make the tackle there for Randallstown. Not before another first down for Thomas Wootton.
And again, it's a counter, a misdirection play where he fakes to the left halfback and hands to the right halfback, coming back through the center. Just a good little, it's a false trap play. It really worked extremely well. You know, they ran that play about 5 times in their initial drive, and they ran it quite a bit last week against Springbrook. 12 rushes, 70 yards for Horlocker. That's not too shabby, but when you put it up against Larry Washington's numbers, it kind of pales in comparison. Horlocker has been running tough today, and that's a timeout by Randallstown Rams. First timeout of the second half. One of the things I was mentioning about Washington on defense, 7 interceptions, 3 interceptions against Perry Hall, 2 of them run back for touchdowns, one 80 yards, the other 65 yards. The kid can play football. And of course, he made the tackle on Sean Thomas to save what appeared to be a touchdown. However, Thomas was out of bounds.
In case you just tuned in, Randallstown 14, Thomas Wootton 6. Larry Washington 2 touchdown runs. One of 52 yards, the other a short 1-yarder. Thomas Wootton has a touchdown, but a missed point after.
Draw play.
Horlocker with plenty of running room inside the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown.
Draw play, 33 yards.
Thomas Wootton has come to within 2 now of Randallstown with 10:06 to play. 34-yard run for the touchdown by Horlocker, Kyle Horlocker. Horlocker's 5'10", 185 pounds, a junior. Oh, excuse me, Sean Thomas, I saw 2.
Well, the 2's the front number, and he was running this side and had the ball in the other hand. It looks like we're going to go for 2. Tie it up. Bob Hampton isn't going to gamble with possession plays. He's going after the 2 points to tie it.
This is the pitch to Thomas. He's shy of the end zone, so it remains 14-12. With 10:06 left to play in the game, Larry Sidnor of Randallstown was able to bring down Sean Thomas. Yeah, I apologize there to Sean Thomas. I saw the 2 on the uniform, and it's 21 Sean Thomas, not number 2, Kyle Horlocker. So with 10:06 to play in the 4th quarter, 14-12, Randallstown over Thomas Wootton.
Here's a touchdown again. You're going to look at it from a couple sides. It's a draw play. Meoch was back as though he was going to show pass. Handed off to Thomas, who took it right off the center, broke to the outside on the left, and managed to toe down the sideline and take it in for the touchdown. Here again, you can see there's just a delay play, and their delay plays and their counters have worked well to open up that middle. Their nose guard, Jensen, is in fact taking the fake and coming out on position and leaving that center wide open.
So each team now with 2 touchdowns in the game. Both have been scored by Larry Washington for Randallstown. Sean Thomas has scored both for Thomas Wootton. But the difference in this game, first, a blocked, or actually a missed point after it went wide to the left, and then a missed 2-point conversion. So technically speaking, Thomas Wootton has had a chance for 15 points and able to come up with a dozen. While both kicks or point afters for Randallstown have been successful. 14-12, Randallstown Rams over the Thomas Wootton Patriots with 10:06 left to play in this game.
I'm going to look for another squib kick from Pierce. Oh, he takes it deep.
Larry Washington on the return. Washington running left. Washington still on his feet at midfield and then taken down. That was a very good run.
It was an outstanding run. But I have to tell you that the guys in lane coverage committed to the center. They converged to the center and didn't hold their lane position. This we have 237 of Rams 270. 39-yard return. 39-yard return by Washington on that kickoff. I was surprised that Pierce kicked it deep. I thought they'd squib it to an up back.
Gregory Hines in the slot. Larry Washington, number 33. Line up on the left side. The ball goes to Daniel Dorsey. And Dorsey shoved back after gaining 2 or 3 yards at best. Gerard Pratt from Thomas Wootton was able to stop Daniel Dorsey.
That's Pratt, the junior nose guard, number 44. He's played a pretty tough game in there today. That's not easy going when you have Washington running at you, and then he comes out and they throw Dorsey at you up the middle, and then they bring Hines at you up the middle.
2nd down and 6 after a gain of 4 yards. Randallstown with a 2-point lead, 8:59 to go in this game. 14-12 Rams. Washington. Larry gets 3-4 tough yards running to his right. Now Marion made the tackle for Thomas Wootton. Larry Washington scored on the opening play of the 2nd quarter and the opening play of the 3rd quarter.
That's right.
Sean Thomas had a dive for a 1-yard touchdown and later a 34-yard scamper down the left sideline. 14-12 Randallstown. Gregory Hines may have the 1st down. It looks like he does. He does. Todd DeHart bringing down Gregory Hines.
Time's going to become a critical factor here. We usually say it, an old cliche, but when you have 2 teams that have a total of about 7 passes between them, 8 minutes left, it's really a factor.
From the 37, 1st and 10 for Randallstown there at the 37 of Thomas Wootton. And again, Dorsey. 1st down yardage again. Taking the ball inside the 25-yard line. Jeff Pierce bringing down Dan Dorsey. So look at the Dorsey run.
Just a good little cross block on the outside on left tackle, left guard. Dorsey makes penetration through that and then just keeps the leg drive going.
7:40 left in the game. 14-12. Randallstown leading Thomas Wootton. 1st down. Randallstown. Dorsey running on the left guard, getting all the way down close to the 20-yard line. And again, Jeff Pierce making the stop for Thomas Wootton.
And a little change up running behind the blocking of number 33, Larry Washington.
Reversing the procedure. 1st downs are even at 10 for both teams. This game very close. 14-12. Both teams with 2 touchdowns. The difference strictly in the kicking and point after game. Sean Holt looks over the defense. Thomas Wootton. Larry Washington was met as he took the handoff by 63, Alan Dinnerman. Thomas Wootton, that is the hardest tackle of the day so far.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of people don't expect to see Washington get taken down one-on-one, and they also don't expect them to be safe taken down in the backfield. but he's just met square by Dinnerman. And Dinnerman is a county and regional district runner-up wrestler at 140 pounds. And he's going against 200-pound Larry Washington.
A takedown. 3rd and 7. Hines, first down, close to the 10-yard line. Gregory Hines found running room off the left side.
Those of you who follow Oklahoma and Nebraska, there's no secret seeing the up-back take the handoff on just a straight dive attack play from the wishbone, and that was it. Just great quickness to the hole by Hines that time. He's able to extend it on down the field. 308 for the Rams and 151 yards rushing for the Patriots.
Of course, Larry Washington has over 200 of those. 5:45 left in the game. This good old-fashioned put your head down running straight ahead. Little or no gain, though, on that play.
Tom, you know, on the rushing yard statistics we just saw there, that has been the standard bearer, so to speak, for Wootton this year. They've given up 250, 300 yards a game, only gained about 150, but here they are 12-0. If they don't get that ball back, I think the Cinderella story will end right here.
Both teams began this game 12 wins without a loss for the season. 2nd down, 10. With motion from Hines, the pitch goes to Larry Washington. 10 covered and down, close to the 5. 5 minutes to go in the game. Tell us a little bit more about Larry Washington. Where do you think he's going to go on to college to play football?
Well, for best information I have, Miami's sitting on his doorstep. Clemson is after him. Tennessee is after him. And I think he's probably going to make the Prop 48 as far as the minimum criteria on the 700 SATs and the C average. So, yeah, I think we can expect to see him at a big-time school. I wouldn't mind seeing him at Maryland.
Larry Washington straight ahead into the end zone for the touchdown. Larry Washington's 3rd TD of the game, giving Randallstown a 20-12 advantage over Thomas Wootton with 4:25 left to play.
And that was a trap on the left. That was another key that Buckheister said we should look for. Trap left, quick pitch left, sweep left, and there it was. 5 yards for the touchdown.
Point after attempt by Mitchell Clay, number 10. The holder is the quarterback. Splitting the uprights, 21-12 advantage now for Randallstown over Thomas Wootton. Larry Washington with 3 touchdown runs of 152 and 5 yards.
And there you can see the trap block. Washington straight dive through the hole, takes it in 5 yards for the score. Here's another angle. Just a counter play that gives the guard time to pull. Backside man to block down, opens up the hole, and he can walk through it. And he's a little ecstatic coming off the field. Yeah, Larry, there's no question you're number 1.
Larry Washington. His final game at Randallstown. Got to give John Buckheister a lot of credit. He's done a good job coaching this team.
Tremendous job. And he's got a tremendous offensive line up there to do that blocking and move the ball down the field with his runners, with Washington, with Dorsey, with Hines. This is a well-rounded ball club.
10 plays, 51 yards for the drive. Now the pitch. Goes to number 12, Marlon Evans, and Evans will run the ball all the way beyond the 40-yard line where they'll put it in play first down. Evans, number 12, almost knew that pitch was coming. They may have pre-planned that, knowing that there could possibly be a squib kick.
Well, you know, they want to get it into his hands. He's the fastest guy on their team. And, of course, he's been shut down today, the exception of about 3 pass receptions, and his rush yardage from the line of scrimmage is negative.
First and 10. Miak to pass. Incomplete. Intended for 34. It's Hal Marion.
Yeah, he runs out of the slot position and out of the wing position. That time he was lined up slot to the right, came down and crossing pattern.
Michael Jensen put some good pressure on the quarterback, Mike Miak. So excellent pressure there by Michael Jensen, who made some contact with Miak. Second down and 10, late in the fourth quarter. 4:13 to play. 21-12 Randallstown over Thomas Wootton for the Maryland Class 4A State Championship. Miak throwing, completing. It's Sean Thomas. Thomas getting a block, making the other, then shoved down and out of bounds by Larry Washington. Washington's been a factor in this game in more ways than one. Very close to a first down, but shy.
Yeah, that was just a good quick screen out to the left. It's the same play that has been very successful for them earlier. Here, Ryan Poole is trying to bear down, make a tackle on, make a block on Dorsey. And you know, his knee went down inside the line of play. He didn't make it out of bounds. The clock continues to move with 3rd and 1.
3:37 left to play in this game. 21-12, Randallstown leading Thomas Wootton. Draw. Thomas, 45, and then brought down on a shoestring tackle by number 30, L.D. Shepard. Shepard got a hand out there and was able to trip up Sean Thomas.
Shepard's played a good game today on defense. He had that initial fumble recovery for Randallstown in the first quarter that eventually set up the touchdown, and recovered another fumble that was declared down earlier.
Thomas Wootton calling a timeout with 3:26 left to play in the game. Randallstown 21, Thomas Wootton 12. And explain to the fans who don't watch that much high school football, where the coach is allowed to come out and talk to the players on the field.
Oh yeah, much different than in NCAA or in the pros. They have two options. Either the entire team can come to the sideline to confer with the coach during a timeout, or the coach goes onto the field in the huddle. It's not just the captain or defensive player, offensive quarterback coming over. Normally, in this situation, you've seen the defensive coordinator from Randallstown go to the huddle, and Bob Hampton, the head coach, who's the offensive coordinator, out with his players.
Earlier, we had a chance to talk to Larry Washington about his future and where he wanted to go to college.
Well, right now, I'm just waiting until after the season over with. Then I'm going to think about college after that. So decide my plans and talk to my family and my coaches and decide what college I'm going to go to. I really got to sit down and figure out 5 visits that I'm going to take right now. I already figured out I'm going to go to Tennessee and Clemson right now, but I'll probably decide 3 more in the upcoming weeks.
Brad Topchick took down the quarterback, Mike Miak, for a big loss all the way back to the 45-yard line. And you can see Larry Washington sort of really has not made an official decision. There's a lot of options for him, no doubt about it. Second out and 20. Draw to Sean Thomas. He's covered at the 49-yard line by, again, Brad Topchick.
Brad Topchick has played one outstanding football game. He is just, I'll tell you, Topchick, Frazier, Baker, I keep saying it over and over, but that's because they're there. They're making the plays both on offense and defense. Sean Thomas with a really super game. 21 rushes, 119 yards, 2 touchdowns, better than 5 yards a carry average.
2 touchdowns, one on a dive, the other on a 34-yard run. Throwing right side behind the receiver. The receiver was number 12, Marlon Evans, and Evans had to try to retreat back and slip down when he was trying to get back to get the football.
And Marlo Rogers again on the coverage. He's been on him like a blanket.
2:08 left to play in the game. Randallstown 21, Thomas Wootton 12. For Buckheister and Randallstown, a perfect season continues on. 13 wins without a loss unless something changes drastically here in the last 2 minutes and 8 seconds.
Well, Wootton needs 2 scores, being down 9.
Complete to Marlon Evans. Miak to Evans.
12-yard gain, but it comes up short of the first down. It'll turn over on downs to the Randallstown Rams. 2 minutes left.
We're hoping that we can arrange at least some type of an interview either with Larry Washington or John Buckheister right after the game. So we're hoping that you obviously will stay with us. going 13-0 in any league, it's got to be tough.
It's just unbelievable. It's something you only dream about.
.145 remaining in the game. Dorsey close to midfield.
You know, coming in, timeout Wootton. Coming into this game, you almost have to, as the opposing coach, when you face Randallstown, you got to figure that you got to give Washington his couple hundred yards and his couple touchdowns. You can't put all your eggs in one basket, though, against the guy because they have so many other weapons they can just throw at you. And it's really tough whenever a game plan has to deal with such an outstanding presence as Larry Washington. I will tell you, though, that both these teams have really played their hearts out, and they've given it their all. And I'm really proud to be associated with this kind of a game. Fans have been wonderful. They're out here enjoying this beautiful, almost December winter day, and
very picturesque.
Both teams have played really, really well.
A very picturesque setting here in Carroll County, Maryland. Westminster High School. Randallstown is leading Thomas Wootton 21-12. Larry Washington still in the game to the 46-yard line. You know, in case some of the fans may have tuned in a little bit late, again, describe Washington overall as you see him as a high school back. I mean, is he as good as you've ever seen?
Yeah, I'm going to say yes. Well, and I've seen a lot of them. But let me tell you, the kid has quickness. He can get to the corner. He has speed. He has power. He's determined ball carrier. He's one of those ball carriers when you're playing defense, you don't like to see him come at you because he enjoys hitting you as much as you enjoy, as a defensive player, hitting the ball carrier. And he takes the blow to the defense. He is just an outstanding back. I haven't seen his hands. They threw one pass to him today, and it wasn't complete. But the only thing there may be a question about is his ability to catch the ball from the back.
We're in the final minute of play here, and for a 1st and 10, the quarterback, Sean Polton, went back and just dove for the ground. They may be forced to get maybe one more play off, one more snap.
And you'll notice their safety man they put back in that protection formation, of course, is number 33, Larry Washington. I really think that John Buckheister has just done an outstanding job. His assistant coaches, Joel Beard, Reggie Brooks, and Charlie Reisenweber. Oh, look at this coming up. We may have a douse. The kids are back there holding the water jug over Buckheister. I think he's going to get it.
Kind of a chilly day for this.
He got it. He's really getting it. Woo! And you know what? I really don't think he cares too much. Now look at him. He loves every minute of it. And why not? 13-0, 4A state championship title. Finally wrestled away from Montgomery County. And the last team that had the state title, Tom, 1984 was Randallstown when they beat Annapolis. And here they come back again in 1990. You know, Randallstown has been in the state playoff program 9 years out of the 15-year history, and they've just done an outstanding job. We also have to give credit to Bob Hampton, the head coach of the Wootton Patriots, and his assistant coaches, Jim Tessier, Mike Bonavia, and John Farner. Athletic directors at the schools and the principals can be extremely proud. Jim Higgins, 33 years at Randallstown, former head football coach, retired from coaching last year. How would you like to retire and turn this team over to somebody new coming in that takes them 13-0? And Mort Greenberg as the principal.
Yeah, Mr. Greenberg really impressed with the overall number of scholarships that Randallstown's been able to come with over the years. In fact, totaled more than $1,041,000 just last year in total scholarships. Count it down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Randallstown, the Maryland State 4A football champions after a 21-12 victory over Thomas Wootton here at Westminster High School in Carroll County, Maryland.
I'll tell you, I think this game turned out to be a lot better than most of the old pundits thought because everyone I spoke to figured it would be a blowout, that Wootton wouldn't be able to stay in the game with them. And I think that the 21-12 score reflects the game in that it was very hard fought on the ground, well-played football game. And I think they're trying to get Coach Buckheister for a few comments.
3 touchdowns by Larry Washington, 2 by Sean Thomas. The real difference in this game, if you have to go back at least for a while, was the point-after situation for Thomas Wootton. They had 1 wide left and missed a 2-point conversion later after their second touchdown, and they were trailing 7-6, 14-12, and put them in a very bad position now that they had to try to get at least 2 more scores late in the game and were obviously unable to do so, as Randallstown was able to win by a score of 21-12.
That's correct, Tom. And, you know, everybody says that point after is a nothing play. It showed up here today. It cost one of the teams the state title, or at least a tie to put it into overtime. And not once, but twice.
We're still waiting to see if John Buckheister will be able to come to our home team sports microphones and express his feelings about the victory here for Randallstown as they complete a 13-win, no-loss season by beating Thomas Wootton by a score of 21-12.
And one of the things when we mentioned the athletic director and principal from Randallstown High School, we want to mention athletic director Jack Loudenberg and principal Dr. Jim Coles from Wootton High School.
Well, we're going to be back with some final comments after this break. Randallstown 21, Thomas Wootton 12.
18th Street Northwest, Suite 200, Washington, D.C. 20036. We prefer edited highlight versions, 3 to 5 minutes long. We can't return them or promise they'll make the show, but follow the format and we'll try our best to get your school on the air. Share the team spirit. Get your school on Home Team Sports High School Report. Hi everyone, this is George Johnson. Join me, along with Ed Tapscott, now Koken, for the 2nd annual Gonzaga DC Classic Basketball Tournament. December 15th, 3 of the nation's top-ranked schools, St. Anthony's of Jersey City, Dunbar of DC, and Dunbar of Baltimore, go head-to-head in this fine tournament. Home Team Sports will bring you the final round action on Saturday, December 22nd, live at 2 o'clock. If you want tickets, call 202-432-0200. Don't...
Well, and we're joined now by the Randallstown football coach, John Buckheister. How does it feel to go 13-0 first off?
It feels real good, real good. It's a 16-week season. Started August 15th. It's a long time. You know, for the kids to play, it's a long time for them to practice. We had 6 Saturday games, 1 on Saturday night. You know, it makes for a long season, and they had enough in them today to go one more time.
Well, I'll tell you, John, this is Ed Massoud. First of all, congratulations. And the second thing, though, it's fun, isn't it? Where's that smile? Huh?
Hey, I'm wore out. I tell you what.
I don't know why you didn't do the running. Larry Washington did the running.
Well, Larry did the running, but I was following him up and down the sidelines. I guarantee you.
One of the things I want to comment on is that I want to thank you for your pregame setup because you made us really look good today. You called quick pitch left, sweep left, counter trap left, and you did it all. I want to know, Larry had a little trouble running inside at first, and then you finally broke it with Dorsey. What'd you do in there?
Well, what was happening, it looked like to us that they were overloading, you know, to the strong side, to the wing side. So we just decided we could run back to the weak side, which is what has happened, you know, in other games. So we felt we could do that, and we did it.
Okay. John, just how good of a player is Larry Washington?
Well, as I told you, Ed, and I told Tom before, you know, I had Brian Jordan, who's with the Atlanta Falcons now, and I had Marlon Jones, who's with the Green Bay, with the Cleveland Browns, and Ricky Porter was up with the Colts for a while and so forth. He's the best I've had.
Well, we want to congratulate you, John Buckheister, for winning the Maryland Class 4A championship as you beat Thomas Wootton by a score of 21-12. We appreciate you taking the time to stop by and chatting with us a little bit here in the post-game celebration.
My pleasure.
Okay, John. And momentarily, we're going to be chatting with Larry Washington, who recorded more than 250 yards in rushing today. In fact, had 250 yards and 3 touchdowns. An excellent run on 1 at least. I mean, it was just a superb run of 34 yards. As you see, the coach there, John Buckheister, taking the washing of the water.
just a reminder that kids who participate in high school sports tend to go a little farther than those who don't.
Back again at Westminster High School, where once again Randallstown has won the Maryland Class 4A High School Championship by beating Thomas Wootton 21-12. And you're looking at Larry Washington, who totaled out today 255 yards and has now 2,777 in his last season at Randallstown. What was the most significant play of the game, Larry?
I think the most significant play of the game was like when they kicked it off to me and we got that long kickoff return. Then they gave us great field position and we just took it in.
How about the touchdown run there to start the second half?
Yeah, that's the third time this week I did it. So I just came in there and a little safety tried to tap him and I just ran him over and I was gone in the open.
You know, defensively you played an excellent game too. It looked like you may have saved a touchdown run there earlier in the game.
Well, that's my job, playing that free safety, just to wait back in case they break up. I just go and make the tackle.
Ed Massoud wants to ask you a question.
Yeah, Larry, I noticed you do a lot of running to the left side and you do a lot of good ground gaining. Every time you went to the right today, they kind of stuffed you in there. Do you favor running the left over the right? Give me your analysis on it.
Not really. It's just a scouting report. Like, I'm supposed to run to the right, and they had, like, the whole team was over there, so he tried to run me left, and I just get my yardage like that.
I want to tell you something. I've seen a lot of high school football, and I'm going to give you my heartfelt congratulations. In 3 playoff games, you've had 777 yards from scrimmage and 10 touchdowns. That's unbelievable. Wish you the best of luck. You played a great ball game.
Thanks.
All right, our congratulations to Larry Washington, who led Randallstown to the victory over Thomas Wootton by a score of 21-12 by scoring 3 times. You know, Ed, you talked about Larry Washington so many times during the game, but, you know, when you look at him overall, Randallstown, a much bigger club overall than Thomas Wootton, but yet, you know, it seemed like it took 2 and 3 guys to try to stop Larry Washington the entire game.
Right, and, you know, well, that's the kind of runner he is. He's not only quick, he's not only got speed, but he's got power. And you take a look in the Oxon Hill game, they have really some superb inside linebackers, really tough kids, about the same size as Washington. He ran over them, play after play after play, because they were trying to meet him and hitting him up above the waist. You have got to cut his legs. You've got to wrap him up, both hands on the ankles, because he'll drive those knees right through your chest. I mean, he's just a powerful runner.
So Randallstown completing a perfect season, 13 wins without a loss, winning the Maryland State 4A Championship with a 21-12 victory over Wootton here at Westminster High School in Carroll County, Maryland. And we thank everyone for watching the game, and we've enjoyed working with Ed Massoud. Once again, it's become a yearly tradition.
It's a pleasure, Tom.
The executive producer for Home Team Sports, Jody Shapiro. Coordinating producer for Home Team Sports is Bill Brown. Today's game produced by George Johnson Jr. and directed by Jim Dorsey. Final score, Randallstown 21, Wootton 12. Randallstown, the Maryland Class 4A champs. This is Tom Davis together with Ed Massoud saying thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you again next year.